What it is, what is up, what is good, gamers? This is Shonef71, aka Digger Dulamite.
That purple bling bling, y'all.
And your auditory canals are locked into episode 276 of the Gaming Vessels podcast. As usual, I'm not in the digital studio alone. Along with me, got my partners in crime. First on deck, we got Dez, aka the Bay Area Terror, aka the High Res Hater.
That's me.
AKA the Cat Daddy, aka that gamer stepdaddy. What's going on?
Hey, not much. Just here on this gloomy day. It's a little gloom and doom. Hope it's sunny where you're at, because it's a little gloomy over here. But that's just because we're getting a little of what is it? Needed water or something. That's what people say. We need water. So I'm happy that we're getting water, but at the same time, I'm like, why can't you just be nice? Why can't you be nice?
It's not wet over here, so at least that's
it will be. It will be.
I know.
And of course, our show is a no-go without Trader Joe, aka Jabroni Chief.
That's me.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. All that kind of my feelings about last episode talking about returning to work and all that stuff. Returning to work was really easy, especially when you take time off at the end of the week. So it's like, hey, I only had 3 days in the office and I had 4 days off. So, hey, return to office is great. So
there you go. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. But I actually enjoyed being in the office. So, I mean, I'm not like a social butterfly, but I'm just going to get used to, I think in a way it's kind of interesting because before I got used to checking work even on my days off or doing other things and like working over my tour of duty just to kind of get things done. And now I can't do that, I'll be at work when I'm working. So it's like it kind of creates better boundaries for me at least. So.
Well, there you go. Looking at finding
the bright side, yes.
Silver lining, so to speak.
Yeah, President Trump and President Musk got that right. Bingo.
So you're working 3 days out of 5?
No, I'm normally going to be working 5 days in the office a week. I just happen to take Thursday. And I take some random time off per month to get a little breather, and so this was my Thursday, Friday of the month that I take off to just kind of get a little R&R into the mix. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, that sounds good. So, as usual, we're going to kick things off with our first topic on the docket, and that's going to be the playlist. All right, Jabroni, why don't you kick things off this week, man? What you been playing?
Okay. Well, I'll kind of tag team with Dez because we've both been playing the same things, basically. So we're still continuing, me and him, with our playthrough of Borderlands 3. So we are stuck on Hammerlock's planet as far as the single-player missions.
Eden 6.
Eden 6, it seems like Eden 6, basically, you want some heaping helping to side missions? Guess what? Eden 6 got you covered. You want some additional length in the game? You want an Ice-T cameo? There we go. Eden 6 got you covered. So that's pretty much, we've been kind of darting in and out, playing the single player and getting some missions done. Trying to do a complete playthrough, meaning that we are looking for all the hidden stuff in each biome, each map that we're in on there, which is cool, but I think both me and Des are kind of, we caught the thing where, okay, loot's kind of lost it, but it's allure a little bit because it's like, I think for me at least, it's like level 27, level 30 loot, and I'm like level 46 now, 47, I believe. So, and the reason why I'm level 47 is because I keep playing Arms Race all the damn time.
Damn time.
Well, here, there, and everywhere. I wound up getting the achievement because I extracted more than 100 pieces of goodies from Arms Race. So the loots. So, and I've been getting pretty much routine in my playthrough of Arms Race. I even had Dez join me one night to play some Arms Race, and we basically half the session we were just running some Arms Race and watching me get killed for whatever reason. Seems like I kind of throw 3 sheets to the wind when I'm playing multiplayer with Dez versus playing Arms Race on my own if need be. So
so is it really Ice-T in the
Yes.
Does he really make a
yes.
Okay.
He's in a stuffed bear.
Yeah.
Does he try to sell you car shield coverage?
No, he's just in a stuffed bear, and he's not even like trying to hide the fact that he's Ice-T. He's just like, I'm in a bear. Damn it. And he's cursing and you suck, so and so. I'm Ice-T. And you're like, okay. Okay. It doesn't say like that, but it's
no, he doesn't actually. Yeah, but he's
when
he's not trying to modify his voice to fit a character. He is the character.
No, he is Ice-T. Okay, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, cool.
And he's interacting with the cast of Borderlands, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, after we got done with that whole subsection of side missions, basically he makes a guest appearance back on the main ship on Sanctuary. Spoiler alert.
Well, he has a couple for a 5-year game, yeah. 5-year-old game, yeah. Or older. So he just kind of will say the same kind of canned lines or something to you, and you're just kind of like, oh, okay, thanks, and that's kind of it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, at one point, the bear gets inserted into a couple of mechs. One mech, he becomes like, basically he has robot arms and robot legs, and the other robot, we wound up inserting the bear in a particular spot. Basically, the bear is like in the crotch area, so because that'd be Borderlands, that's for sure. So
that'd be Borderlands.
Yes. Yeah,
Arms Race. Borderlands.
Arms Race is just, I don't know. To me, it's like I like doing a run. It's like about 30 minutes. If I get good loot out of it, it's like basically my single player campaign's been really modified by it because almost all the guns I have now are basically not drops playing the single player content. It's all Arms Race goodies basically. So, So my whole like armory of gear is all Arms Race equipped gear on there. So that's it. But it's like as soon as I got that achievement, I'm thinking, I'm gonna play with Dez when I have an opportunity to. But I actually dusted out and got the Tiny Tina Wonderlands disc out, and I might decide instead of me trying to grind Arms Race, if Dez is not available that night to play multiplayer, that I never beat the campaign for Wonderlands either, and so I was thinking about dipping back into that. So it just depends. So, or cool. God forbid I play anything else in my backlog as well. So now the other game I've been playing, that's the game that all 3 of us have been playing, is Monster Hunter World. So Monster Hunter Wilds, excuse me, my bad.
Gotcha.
So, and as far as for me, Monster Hunter Wilds this week. I beat the single player campaign, so it's like technically the end of low rank. I'm Hunter rank 13 right now. And as far as what I have to say about the campaign, just like what I said last episode, it seems like I didn't really take the time to like grind like I usually do in other Monster Hunter campaigns. Like with Rise, it seems like you're given a story beat and then given like a couple of missions to do and a couple monsters to fight before going on to the next story beat on there. It just seems like this one you could practically just go in and just story without like doing any side missions or anything like that. Now, there was that one point where I carded a couple times. I forgot the name of the monster I was fighting, but I think you're up to this point, Kevin, your game too, where you'd have to actually go in, knock a rock from above to be able to like hide or like get behind the rock, because there's like a one-shot attack that this particular Elden Dragon has on there that knocks you out. And it took me a couple tries before I figured out I needed to hide behind the rock. basically. And after that, it seemed like it was okay. Then from there on there. So I don't know what's your experience with that particular monster. Do you remember the name of the monster by chance, Kev?
I don't remember the names of any of these monsters.
Yeah.
I just call him the bone shaker because that's what he looks like. He looks like a bunch of bones, kind of piled together.
The bones. I don't even remember. I must not have fought it yet.
Yeah, I don't think you have. So Ray Dow was the one. So
Okay.
I thought Ray Dow was the electric one.
It's not. Yeah, Ray Dow's earlier.
Isn't it Jin something?
Jin Dahad.
Jin Dahad.
There you go.
Yeah, there.
Yeah. You know, being such a big Monster Hunter fan, I should start to memorize some of these monsters. But a lot of them are new. You know, I think a repetition. Be able to get a little bit more as far as remembering some of the newer monsters' names, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, sure.
But as far as the campaign itself, I mean, I know some people out there are kind of bagging on the campaign, like, oh my god, I just had to hit, I couldn't stand all this narrative and having to do a slow walk on Sekrat and be able to listen to all these talking heads going back and forth. And for what it's worth, I thought the story was good on there. I thought the whole story about Nada being a little bit too emo, I mean, I think it's okay, So, I kind of teared up at certain points, not like openly weeping, but, just kind of feeling the beads of the story. I felt like the English voice acting was good as well. So, I don't know how you feel about either of you two about the story so far. We kind of, comment then from
Monster
there,
Hunter.
But, yeah, it's Monster Hunter. Yeah, some people are saying it's worse than either Rise or worse than World, if need be. But I think for all intents and purposes, like you said, Deza is Monster Hunter. So
yeah, I don't see why people are being all like, oh god, I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's serviceable. I don't have a problem with the story. I mean, I'm not expecting this kid to be all together. I mean, how old is he? Like 14 at the most? 12 maybe?
Yeah.
So he's a little kid. It's like, are we really expecting him not to have moments of emo? I mean, it's like, I mean, this, this was a Japanese made game, but it's not typical anime where you got 12-year-olds running entire governments. This ain't that type of game. So
it needs to be.
I think folks need to chill on the what's his name? Nav.
I don't know what the kid's name is.
Nava. Yeah.
No, Nara.
Nara. I think they need to chill on Nara. I saw one post on X where they were talking about, I'm tired of seeing all these brown people in Monster Hunter. It's like,
oh Lord.
And it was just like a random. I can't remember if it was a Capcom post or if it was just somebody talking about Monster Hunter. And it's like, okay, so I wonder how much of that is really behind the story beat hate, because this is the most melanated Monster Hunter that at least I've ever played. When it comes to, like, I always play a black character, but as far as melanated NPCs, this is the most melanated one that's come out. So I wonder how much of that is really encased in, too much melanin in my game, because that's what we seem to be all about now in 2025 gaming community. So
it's Nata, by the way, not Nara.
Nata, okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Nargacuga, I guess, or something.
Joakuga,
yep.
It's like, I didn't buy I didn't buy Monster Hunter to eat naan and hummus. I think that's what one person wrote. I'm like, wow. Oh my gosh, y'all, wow.
You're gonna have to make a manga Monster Hunter.
Gaming community 2025, y'all. That's where we at. But anyway, continue.
But overall, I mean, right now I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I gotta give it up to Goonie. Goonie's been playing at least on the weekends a lot. So is Robert as well. Our mutual work friend Robert that's been in there and helping us out if need be. Both Goonie and Robert kind of helped me on Friday with some of the quests with the end monster and that kind of thing. So like they were joining and helping me get through some of the missions on there. And I think it's a good thing to have friends available if need be. One thing I did today is research a little bit more between what a link, what a the squad and the what's the other one? It's called the link,
environmental
right?
and link.
Yeah, link. So environmental link basically I learned is basically if you want to take your friends out into the actual map and farm for stuff and not actually do a mission, that's what an environmental link is. A link basically is if you want to play in the same instance with 3 of your friends and get instant notifications when a quest is available. That would be a link. But squad, I was trying to figure, okay, what's the use for the squad if it's all basically on the link? And so as long as you join, if all of us join the same squad, we would not get notification per se if someone started a quest, like if we were in a link. But we could still go to Alma, the quest handler, and actually join into the quest that way on there. Because anyone that's on the actual, if we're on the same instance with the squad, then we would be able to go back and forth. Because I was trying to figure out, because I know on Saturday we were trying to basically play. Was it Saturday or was it Friday? It might have been Friday night. I forget which day it was, but I know John was on, Kev was on, of course, and you were on too, Des, and we're just trying to figure out as far as who was going to be in which link party to be able to help each other out if need be. So I think moving forward, it sucks that I have to actually go into and watch either a YouTube video and or read a website to be able to figure out how everything's set up. I kind of miss, because remember back in World and prior Monster Hunter games, if you wanted to do multiplayer with a crew, you would just go into the tavern and basically go and do multiplayer that way, and you're able to actually go. And I kind of miss sitting at the table and clanking the beer steins and going up to the separate counter on there. But maybe that's because of it being crossplay and launching on multiple platforms on launch. So kind of miss some things. But what's your overall take right now of Monster Hunter, Kev?
I mean, it's a fun game. I had a lot of complaints prior. Those complaints are still, I feel that they're still valid. But it's a fun game. I don't know how I feel about it in comparison to World, but I really don't have any. I don't think it's a bad game at all. I think it's a very good game. I just haven't made my decision as to whether or not I like it more, the less, or the same as World. I probably want to check that out when I get into the end game. I really liked World's end game, so I'll see what end game looks like in this game. That'll probably be my determining factor in my and how I feel about it in comparison. But just by itself, it's a great game.
Same here. I mean, I'm enjoying what I'm playing. It's been a lot of fun. Running through, I think Nata is fine, or I call him Little Goonie. I think he's fine. I don't think anything is really that bad with the game. I think people are just being, a little bit of haters on it. I would love to see if these are people that have been playing it since the beginning, like we have, or if they're more, like newer folks, because I do think that sometimes folks get a little bit, oh, I remember this, or oh, this was not as good, or blah blah blah. So I mean, I would like to know, how they're how they're feeling with what's going on. But again, I think it's a good I think it's a good game. To say that it's not would be blasphemous, because it definitely is. So um I definitely want to play more of it. I am I, for Monster Hunter, with me, it's always been like a slow burn. So I always just kind of like play a little bit of it, and then I sit back on it. I play a little bit of it, and I sit back on it, and that's just because that's just kind of how I have always played the game. Um, and this one is no different. So yeah, I think the story's kind of interesting. I do know that you end the story a little bit sooner than I was expecting. Um, but then again, it's like, that first part of the story is just a tutorial, and then you start doing like high rank and all this extra stuff, and then they're gonna release bunches of packs and or DLC for the game and whatnot. So it's just a matter of time before that stuff kind of hits. But other than that, yeah, I think I'm enjoying it, and I really hope that other people are. Because if you're not, I don't know what you're expecting.
I think with the streamline of the weapons too, it's been, I've been pleasantly surprised running Great Sword and not having any sort of. From what I've seen or heard with other people's impressions of the game too, listening to other podcasts and whatnot, that they've been talking about all the little like tweaks each weapon has received, and it's like some weapons are more easily digestible for other players and that kind of thing. So it's like I was listening to one podcast and they're talking about mainly playing like the gun lance and also the lance, and it made me want to try both of those weapons actually. So I might think about changing up my second weapon I carry on my Sekaret, because right now I've been doing the light bow gun, and I've been really enjoying using it. I mean, I think I commented on the last episode or a couple episodes ago, where I was having issues with the heavy bow gun, and so I went out and ran some missions just by using the light bow gun, and I found that using it was a lot easier for me, and I kind of got a little bit better off just doing some optional quest where I was just playing by myself and just taking down a Congalonga with using just the bow gun, light bow gun in this instance. So I might use that same approach to maybe check out a couple other weapons that I usually don't play. Maybe check out the lance and the gun lance as well, just to kind of get an idea on both. I never tried Charge Blade too, and I heard Charge Blade is super fun. So
Charge Blade is a mode gator, though. It's pretty technical. So have fun with that, sir. I don't
got it. Well, after watching some footage, it seems like you're like buzzing with a saw, just right.
Yeah, well, it just depends on the type of rune. The type of blade you're using. So
yeah, but we'll be talking about this game probably more throughout the weeks and months. So be prepared, and if you do want to play with us, definitely listen when Kev mentions as far as how to join the Discord. It's available. If you check our social media accounts, Blue Sky, you'll be able to grab onto the link and go and play with us if need be. So
definitely.
Anyone else has comments about Monster Hunter Wilds? I mean, it pretty much covers, I think, all of what we've been playing this past week, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
Kev, you got something to add to your retro recon?
I got nada. So with that, we are going to move on to our next topic on our docket. We got the main event coming at you. All right, Dad, you got the mic, man.
All righty. So our main event, as always, we ask questions of the community to see what their thoughts on various different gaming topics are. And the question for this week is, are you ready for the next console generation? A couple episodes ago, actually probably quite a while ago, we had a conversation about the generations, console generations, and what they are, and as we've kind of noticed, they were getting smaller and smaller and smaller as technology gets, you know, grows and grows and grows. So those gaps kind of get smaller, which is to be expected when you see how advancements with chipsets and technology and all the stuff kind of makes people want to capitalize on those gains sooner than later. So that's why we're seeing much more faster turnarounds or turnover of various different consoles, or that's everything, not just in the video game space. So I just wanted to ask a question and say, like, hey, are we ready for it? Because it looks like it's right on the horizon. Sony has kind of dominated this one, I would say. What is it? Xbox has kind of like, waved the white flag, saying, we lost this one, let's move on. And Nintendo's kind of running their own race, doing their own thing. And then you have the indies at the bottom, kind of like, fighting for whatever places they're at. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I wanted to bring that up to Kevin first. Kevin, are you ready for the next console generation? And if you are, like, why? What are you hoping for? What are you excited about? And if no, why? Are you happy with what you got right now? Do you want to see Xbox come back? Do you want to see Sony, continue to dominate? Do you want Nintendo to pull out an upset? Let us know. What are your thoughts?
So I'm kind of in disagreement. I don't think the next console generation is like right around the corner.
Okay.
I mean, it probably is from a development perspective, as far as internal progress internally in the manufacturers is concerned. I'm not for example, with PlayStation, I wouldn't expect to hear anything about PlayStation 6 until, this is just what I think, maybe 2029, maybe 2030. And the reason I say that is in a lot of ways because of the Pro. If you've listened to some of the interviews that Mark Cerny's been doing, the Pro's upscaling technology has been designed to be updated. So right now they're already working with elements that are going to be in the what is in AMD's upscaler technology called? I can't remember what it's called. DLSS. Yeah, they're already working with elements in DLSS 4. DLSS 4 with regards to the PlayStation's upscaler. So the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to have DLSS 4 implementations added to it. It's not DLSS 4 straight up, but the PSSR is designed to be an upgradable firmware.
Excuse me, it's RDNA 4. My bad.
RDNA, okay.
RDNA 4.
RDNA, yeah, okay. R for RDNA 4. So I'm not expecting to hear anything about probably maybe an announcement or unconfirmed rumors from everybody and their grandmother, maybe around 2028. Maybe a confirmation for, I'll say maybe holiday 2029. At least on PlayStation side. Nintendo's going to Nintendo.
Yup.
I just need the Switch 2 to run Bayonetta 3 at a decent frame rate. I need 60 frames from that. Otherwise, I'm done with Nintendo for good. Because I can't do the Flipboard stuff anymore. Xbox, I'm not really sure what Xbox is doing. This past week, there have been handheld rumors kind of going in the gaming press, and apparently the rumor is that this handheld is not exactly the handheld that's going to be for their next generation, but this one is only going to play their cloud stuff. It's not going to play all of the Xbox games because not all of the Xbox games have the licenses confirmed for cloud usage, or the legal aspects haven't been resolved yet. So I don't know. I don't know. Phil says one thing Monday, he'll say something completely different on Tuesday, and then he'll say something completely different on Wednesday. So, so I don't know. I don't know. I think Windows Central, Jez Gordon, I think says that his squeakers or tattletalers within his network are telling him that the next console for Xbox has been greenlit, and it's already been, the funds have already been set aside, and the development is underway. So I don't know. As for whether or not I'm ready for it. I mean, I guess I'm technically ready for it just from where I choose to game. I'm not going to PC anytime soon. The only way I would consider PC would be if PlayStation just completely shuts down physical media. At that point, I would consider it, but I'm not spending $3,000 on a high-end graphics card. And I think it just has to do with how I view gaming. If I'm going to play on PC, I'm going to play at no compromise levels, and no compromise levels for the same amount of money I could buy a used Honda Accord. I mean, I'm seeing people coming up with build prices in 3,000, 3,200. When you're dealing with the NVIDIA 5090, and then some of the reviews I've seen about the 5090 are telling folks, nah, you need to stick with your 4080 and 4090 because they're outperforming the 5090 because the drivers are all screwed up. Monster Hunter Wilds is causing people with these high-end PCs to struggle. I've seen some of the videos and screenshots of some of the graphics anomalies that are present in what is being relayed to folks having high-end rigs, which to me, I would be super pissed off if I just spent $3,200, $2,500, $1,900 on a high-end PC, and I can't at least brute force the game I'm playing to be able to run at super the greatest. That to me is what PC gaming is all about. I know different people have different opinions on what it is for them, so it's highly subjective. But I ain't going to PC anytime soon. So if I feel that these updates are worth the upgrade, and they probably will be, because as long as there is a retailer that will allow me to trade in and upgrade that way, I'm going to be more inclined to do it as soon as that said product comes out. If that comes to an end, then I'm going to have to I probably have to think and see what am I really getting for the upgrade. I personally feel that the PS5 Pro is worth it if you have the right display attached to it and you have no interest in going to PC or investing the amount of money to be able to outdo a PS5 Pro on PC. I think in my experience, what I've experienced with it, I don't feel my money went to waste at all. It's probably as far as high-end gaming, it's the best bang for your buck. This side of a $1,500 PC. So I have no complaints about it. I'll see what Nintendo's doing. I think Xbox is. I don't. You'd have to be Nostradamus to figure out what Xbox is doing. I don't know if they know what they're doing.
They don't.
I think we just have to wait and see about that. So that's kind of where I'm at as far as the next console generation.
Cool. All right, Joe, you're up.
For me, as far as I'm ready for anything else besides PlayStation. I think, like Kev said, I don't think the next PlayStation's coming. So I think it's later than sooner on here. I think 2028 would probably be the earliest we could see a new PlayStation. I hope that they, especially with the Pro model coming out, that they give the Pro and give their team some momentum to be able to create software on the PS5 Pro and then to basically get their ducks lined in a row for PS6. Because kind of like how Nintendo right now kind of was slow rolling the Switch for maybe the last year and a half, 2 years. I can anticipate where PlayStation, if they really wanted to kind of see where things kind of shook, maybe wait until after 2028, especially with possible threats of tariffs and that kind of other gobbledygook on there. So, as far as Xbox is concerned, we talked about ad nauseum, but I'm looking at Microsoft and Valve as being one and the same, because basically what Microsoft is attempting to do right now is to create a Windows Xbox hybrid product, either in a set-top box or in a handheld on there. So they are working, in my opinion, on the ability to be able to play Xbox software onto a Windows device on there. So to me, it's like, okay, which manufacturer would I trust more? Which hardware manufacturer, Valve or Microsoft? In my mind, I think I would put my money on Valve, even though they're a little bit more boutique or niche in that case, So, if Valve releases a set-top box of some sort, especially to be able to play a lot of these indie titles, maybe a little bit of AMD GPU under the hood. I trust my Valve just as much as Microsoft, in my opinion. So, but I'm curious what Microsoft has to offer. I mean, really, the Series X and S were kind of iterative, kind of building on the Xbox One, and so I haven't really seen anything new from Microsoft. I think the last new angle we saw from Microsoft was TV. So it's like with the Xbox One, and so I would be really curious what kind of angle they're going to come with. They're kind of the wild card, like Kev said, on there. So
would you consider? Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you both real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was going to ask you both real quick. Do you consider, if Microsoft was to come out with a box and kind of quote unquote jump the generation, do you think that that's something that they would possibly do?
They already did. It's called the Series X. Phil Spencer has said that the Series X is their pro console. The Series S is the base, and the Series X is the Pro. They just launched it at the same time. Now, it was never marketed that way.
Yeah.
But that's what Phil has said. He said, you guys are complaining about not getting a Pro console. Well, we gave it to you at the beginning of the gen. It's the Series X, which I think is
kind of disingenuous.
Is very disingenuous.
I think it's revisionist history.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure, buddy.
I mean, that's coming from Phil Spencer's mouth. But again, he'll say something different the next day. As far to me, it's like I can't even. You guys can't even get your Windows Store together. Why am I going to buy a console where I have to buy all my stuff through your Windows Store just because you slap an Xbox on it? If I delete a game, is the game still going to remain on my hard disk even though I deleted it? Will it not? Is it not going to give up that hard drive space after I've deleted an app? I mean, I don't know. And as far as side loading Steam, to me, I don't get it. You, like Joe said, you might as well just get whatever Steam is going to offer, because at least number one, it's not going to be it's going to run right. It's in a storefront that people love on as far as PC. But at that point, I'm saying to myself, well, those people that are Steam fans are already on Steam. I feel that's a big part of why the Steam box wasn't successful the first time around. You're trying to get people that are already gaming on PC to go to a console that basically is just a PC minus what Windows. I mean, they're already there. You know, they're already running Steam on their Windows PCs. These are the folks that don't mind having a PC plugged into their flat screen or game in a cubicle like space in their homes. They're already there. So I just kind of wonder, you know, pun intended, who are these products for? Because they're already being consumed in a way that's been established, if that makes sense.
No, I agree with you. The only reason why I mentioned the jump to console generation is if they were to release a TV or a desktop box before, and this is their kind of like, you know, 360 home or whatever they're going to call it. You know, would you consider that jumping the console generation to kind of give you this sort of like third model that's based between the S and the X? Because I don't think, I mean, or you get like a diskless X that, you know, has like a little bit more bells and whistles or something like that.
They've already launched that, haven't they? Isn't that white Series X?
No, that's just a diskless Series X. That's all that is. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, but they're.
I'm talking about a series
You said between a Series S and an X. I don't.
No. What Desmond is trying to basically state is in like maybe 2026 or 2027, it's been rumored that Microsoft is going to release a new system to kind of get ahead of the PS6 and to be able to do what they're going to do to establish what Xbox is in the next generation, basically. So.
Oh, that. Yeah. Okay. I have to ask, who is this product for when all of your games are everywhere else?
I don't even think
day and date. It's like, okay, so the only way that product makes sense is if you put out a product that has a GPU that's comparable to a 5090 or a 4090, maybe somewhere between a 4080 and a 5080 at you know, at the most, and every third party game is going to just run that much better than on the console, on a PlayStation console. But then, unless Microsoft is willing to make some deep concessions in the price, subsidizations in the price, you're looking at a console that's going to come in at $950 to maybe even $1,000. And at that point, are folks going to say, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and buy this $900 console," or are they just going to say, I think I'll just build a PC or buy or boutique a PC build for that kind of money, because we know it's not going to have physical media. So I just have to ask, who is that product for? And I think Microsoft has painted themselves into a corner between Game Pass, between play. It started when they released their games day and date on PC. Then we got another layer with Game Pass, and now we've got a third layer, because the model obviously isn't working. Because if it was working, they wouldn't be doing this, bringing their games to PlayStation and presumably Switch 2. Again, who is this product for?
Joe. It's for Joe. Because
It's
Joe will
not
buy
for
it.
me. It's not for me. I have Xbox. I have a gaming PC. So
It's for Joe. Joe's like, yes, bring it to me. Get in my lungs, Xbox. Phil, where are you, buddy? Phil.
I don't know. I don't know what would bring me back. Like we said before, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's like Xbox, especially because they're multi-platform now. There's really no need to buy an extra console just to play Xbox games. It's like I bought an Xbox One to see what Microsoft had to bring to the table. I bought an Xbox Series X because I believed that Microsoft would bring it for that particular generation, and they did bring out some exclusives to be able to play. But I know that some people out there are Xbox fans, and so they play all their multi-plats on Xbox and play any PlayStation exclusives on the PlayStation. So for those people, they might be entertained by it, So I mean, there's an audience out there still for people that enjoyed the game on Xbox. So I mean, by all means, I mean there's room in the market for Microsoft and Sony. It's just, I think these days of having like Sega versus Nintendo or like PlayStation versus Nintendo and so on and so forth versus Xbox, that I'm hoping that Microsoft finds their niche that they could occupy, just like Nintendo did with the Switch and with PlayStation continuing with traditional consoles, that they find their kind of secret sauce to attract people to their platform regardless of, what it is. Because if they're just going to continue to just release consoles to compete with PlayStation, that's probably not going to make it for them anymore. They kind of unfortunately lost the war of the stores and the back compact catalog between PS4, PS5, and Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. I mean, even with 360 and original Xbox in their back pocket, thinking now a hybrid system that you could play Blue Dragon on a PC. I mean, to me that I would be very interested. I wish Microsoft would maybe fund different games that would get me interested in their catalog of games. So we'll see, what's there for the taking. Crackdown 4. Keep the hope alive.
Yeah. No. So we did have one listener who responded to this, and that was John BT, who says, I don't really consider Switch 2 or anything from Nintendo as part of the console generation. They just do their own thing and we buy it. That is true. As for PlayStation, I know it's coming, but I feel like PS5 is just getting its groove going, and there is no need to rush it. Microsoft isn't going to offer any real competition, so I think Sony can just let it cook and bring out something truly impressive. I agree with that. They are like their market leader. They don't have anyone to worry about at this point. If it does hit in 2 years, I'll likely skip the initial rush and grab one after a few months, unless there is some game making it necessary, which I highly doubt. And I agree. See, that's my feeling. When I read this, I really thought that this is what's going on. Like, I haven't bought the PlayStation Pro, and so I don't know if for me a new, because I'm not an early adopter. As I did buy PS5, but that was because I mean I probably will end up buying a PlayStation Pro at some point when it comes down, maybe when the new hot list is moved off. But I do believe that both of my co-hosts are pretty correct, and they've been following games for a long time. I do think that we're going to have like a 5-year lifespan for the Pro, and then they're going to start talking about a 6 and what's going on. I do think that just to stay relevant in the market, I do think that Microsoft will be releasing a desktop set of some sort to kind of catch all of the possible, like, moms who want to like get their kids something, all the college frat kids, all the people who have like the young adults that have disposable income who are casual gamers. I do think that that's where Microsoft is trying to hedge their bets on, like the casual gamer, by putting something on their desktop that's looks cute and they can play games every now and again and surf the internet from their couch. I think that's that's what Microsoft is most likely going to do. And if they go up against Valve or Steam, I think for the most part, I think they have a little bit more market. I guess I would say like brand recognition than Steam does in the casual market, in the casual space. So that's why I think that's probably what they're going to be doing. Again, I'm not Necrodamus. I don't know what's going on with it. So take this with all a grain of salt, as most of the stuff that we talk about, because you never know until it actually comes until they come out the box with it. So that's kind of my thought about it.
My thing for you, Des, is you maybe want to get a PS5 Pro when you finally get a new TV. So if you get an OLED,
yeah,
that's the thing. You're going to see the results once you have a 120 hertz TV.
Yeah.
On there. Right now, with your setup, you're fine on the PS5. So
and I am thinking. I was talking to Joe. I am thinking about or contemplating actually doing some, home renovations, and after those home renovations are done, actually getting a better TV and really kind of, I don't want to say like devoting myself to the to gaming, but really kind of like talking about like okay, this is gaming, this is what we're doing, this is what is going to be awesome and stuff like that. So, but
you might get a good deal. Me and Kev are sitting on some LG C1s right now, and it's like, I've seen the prices out there in the market right now, and see like that TCL. There's an 85-inch TCL that was on clearance for like $800, and 85 inches and 120 hertz and all the bells and whistles and OLED TV. It's like, aye.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Oof.
Yeah.
So. But everybody, thank you so much, you two, and John BT, for coming in and talking about this main event question. But we asked and you delivered. Again, we always like getting questions from our listeners to ask us stuff and to ask other folks within the community. So we have a question from our community, and it comes from none other than John BT, who writes, this is for you, Kev. Kev likes to say, quote unquote, ain't no one got time for that. But what if you did have time, Kev? If you could get all that teenage time, vitality, and reflexes back, what big game or games would you dive into? Can be current or past games, but nothing you're actively playing now. We all know you put 1,000 hours into Monster Hunter. So again, the question is, and we're all going to answer it, not just Kev. We're all going to answer it because we're all kind of getting up there in age. They're both older than me, but I'm kind of getting up there too. So again, the preface of the question, the core of the question is, if teenage Kevin, if you were able to be teenage Kevin in 2025, what big games would you dive into? Probably from like last year or current, but that's what you're playing right now. So that's to be something that you haven't played already, or games that you thought like, I don't want to deal with that, my old bones, stuff like that. But again, while this is directed at Kevin, we will all answer it, and we want you, our listeners, to answer it as well. And if you're listening on YouTube, definitely like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below what games that teenage listener you'd want to be, or teenage Goonie, or teenage Chase, Crucial Chase. Let us know, and tune in for our next episode where we hear what Kev does have time for. So, so having said all of that, what follows the main event. It's the Jabroni Gaming News.
All right, thank you, Des. Got my JBGN action. So we bring you that Jabroni Game News hot and fast.
Sound like a radio station.
You
radio DJ in your next life.
Yeah, JBJN. Say that real fast. JBGN. So, God, I can't even talk. So, Since we were talking about it in the main event, we did want to mention the news being talked about as far as the Xbox Portable that get hit shelves this year. According to Windows Central and The Verge, good old Tom Warren, Asus built Project Kennan reportedly aims to offer a universal library of Xbox and PC games. So this Xbox branded handheld from Asus is going to debut sometime later this year, but it is reliant on Microsoft platform work to be able to make Windows more compatible with a handheld format. So the platform work is reportedly codenamed Project Bayside and aims to deliver a common Xbox UI across multiple devices to help combine Windows and Xbox. This comes from Microsoft's VP of Next Generation, Jason Ronald, who was also the system architect, or the person that created the Xbox Series S and S. Basically, you said earlier this year that any future handheld device would combine the quote-unquote the best of Xbox and Windows. Oh boy. What he said, I would say it's
I hope so.
Bringing the best of Xbox and Windows together, because we spent the last 20 years building a world-class operating system, which I have 3 blue screens of death a week at work. Thank you so much.
Hey now.
But it's really locked to the console. What we're doing is we're really focused on how do we bring those experiences for both players and developers to the broader Windows ecosystem. So he did tell The Verge that the goal of any potential Xbox handheld would be to create an experience that puts Xbox in the center of its focus. So not the Windows desktop experience that you have today on here. So we'll have to see if this Asus handheld that's coming out this year, I think this is going to be more of a basis of a handheld that's more focused on like PC Game Pass. Be able to be focused on cloud gaming on the go with this device on there with an Xbox front end of some sort. I don't think we're going to see, according to what these rumors are speculating right now, to see Xbox software running on a handheld Windows device on there, not just yet. I think Xbox is going to come with their own handheld in probably a year or two based on what the rumors are stating on this. And so I think talking about this news, we kind of already ran over and talked about it during the main event, but was there anything else you'd like to add, Des, to this topic and conversation?
No, I'm just not. I'm not surprised. What's going on. They're gonna. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a portable, and it's gonna be a small desktop set, and they're going to have a smaller footprint on people's shelves, and I think that's what they're gonna do. And they're gonna put everything online, digital only. And if you wanna buy an Xbox game, physical, get it for PlayStation or get it for Nintendo. That's it. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, Kev, anything else to add? I know you already said your piece during the main event, so.
No, I really don't have anything to add to that. No.
Okay. All right, good deal. Okay, well, one thing we mentioned Microsoft. I did have this later on in the news, but I might as well talk about it right now. There are some release dates rumored right now for some of the games that are coming out for other platforms. So Indiana Jones and the Great Circle PS5 release date did appear online, according to French retail sources. The physical edition of the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle for PlayStation 5 will be released on April 17th, suggesting the digital version of the game would come at the same time on there. So, and we'll have to see if that comes out. Usually, if you're going to release a physical game, you're going to want to offer people the ability to be able to pre-order the game. And we haven't seen any sort of evidence that there's a physical coming for Indiana Jones soon on here. So we're standing right now, we're recording this show on March 16th, and for it to come out physically out at retailers in a month, I don't know if this news is, we'll have to see. I know Microsoft might be not used to bringing out physical media as much anymore. I know that there's already pre-orders for Doom: The Dark Ages available for PlayStation 5. out there, along with it coming out for other platforms as well. But we'll have to see if this rumor, this French retail sources, actually comes to fruition. Kev, do you think that they're going to really have an Indiana Jones physical for PS5, or do you think they're going to skip it like they did with Forza Horizon 5?
If they didn't do it for Forza, I don't see them doing it for Indiana Jones.
I think maybe in Europe they might release a physical, depending. I know that before Europe was one of the territories, I guess, that they've released physical games for because of the fact that some of the country's internet wasn't exactly the greatest to be able to download games, especially games that are bigger per se. But we'll have to see about that. Now, there's also another Microsoft rumor. Of course, this has been coming for forever, but there's more evidence pointing to a PS5 version of Starfield. So a user on Friday spotted a creation posted on the Starfield user created content library had a PlayStation logo on the list of available platforms along with PC and Xbox. So, but this was removed very quickly afterwards, but it was archived on Resetera of all places. So there was a particular PS5 logo with some of the user uploaded content on there. But, I'm thinking Starfield's going to make its appearance on PlayStation 5 based on what this is stated here. Any excitement to play this game, Des, on PlayStation 5, or you think Starfield's time in the sun, they basically flew off and are lost in space, in your opinion?
It's lost in space, in my opinion. It had its what is it? It had its time to shine, and I just don't think it did. I think it just did not hit the way Bethesda and Microsoft wanted it to, which is a shame, but it just wasn't the game that people wanted to play or expected to play, and that's just kind of what it is, unfortunately. So having said all that, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that this is it. Like, this is it.
Yeah, I'm not sure for me either. I mean, I've had the opportunity to play this game previously. I haven't really tried it, and I might, give it a shot on Xbox PC Game Pass if need be, once I get my gaming PC up and running on there. But they did comment, they asked Bethesda about it, and basically former Bethesda designer Bruce Nesbitt recently said that a potential Starfield sequel would be one hell of a game because thanks to them learning from the mistakes of the first game. So, so he stated that I think it's going to be one hell of a game because it will address the many of the things people are saying we're missing a little bit on here. So he acknowledged the fact that there's some problems with the game, and that they would be able to iterate on it and maybe be able to create a world-class, space RPG like they did with the first game, what they wanted to do with the first. So
I hope so.
We'll see. All right. Also, another news, No Rest for the Wicked. If you remember that game, that is coming from developer Moon Studios. So they have separated from 2K. They said they told Take-Two basically, you could take it and leave it there, sir. They were working with the Private Division label at Take-Two, but they wound up Take-Two got out of their Private Division label on there. They sold the company off and basically shuttered the company. The only thing that they kept was No Rest for the Wicked because they wanted to, work with Moon Studios to be able to get this game released. If you don't remember No Rest for the Wicked, it is available on early access on Steam right now. It is Moon Studios' take on an ARPG, and with a very kind of elaborative art style if need be. So just remember with the that developer, they released both Ori games for Xbox, and so they really wanted to do an ARPG. And so, I haven't really watched too much footage, but I'm more keeping an eye on it for when it gets to their 1.0 release. Have you took a look at any of this, Des?
Yes, definitely. It's on sale right now on the Steam sale. So if you are so inclined, you can go pick it up right now and play some of it. Again, it is not ready, but you can definitely play some of it now to see how you like it. Um, they're saying that it is Dark Souls and Diablo kind of mashed into one. So
Got
it
it.
it looks fun. I'm interested to play it when it comes out because it looks good. Like it looks damn good. I don't know what else
I
to
know I
say.
want to
Damn
play it.
good.
It's just maybe waiting to when. That's just like early releases, open betas like this,
Yeah, they're
early
rough.
access,
They're
it's
hard.
like I know they're promising a new update on April 30th. They're saying that it's called The Breach, which will expand the game, add new areas, armors, factions, enemies, and weapons, and be able to play up to 4-player co-op on there. So,
You like
it's
that word?
you know it, but I don't know. I'm still. I think I want to see a one with a dot behind it before I, take a look at this game. I think I want to wait for it to cook in its full form. So we'll have to see. But I'm glad that they said, okay, we're gonna go ahead because they basically told Take Two, take it. They are basically funding this game on their own on there, and they decided to do it without 2K, even though 2K wanting them to stay with Papa 2K. Papa 2K will take care of you because they want to like grab all this revenues from the game, but no, they moved on. So,
Good
all
for
right, and
them.
the other news: Aspire has commented in an interview that PlayStation 5 Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is still in development. So if you remember on a particular, I think, a PlayStation showcase. It was announced in September 2021. It's been a while. So,
Hmm.
as a time PS5 exclusive, but there's been no unveiling of the game. But they wanted to confirm it's still in active development. So, according to this, Aspire and Saber Interactive both confirmed to be working on the game in May 2022, and it was later claimed that Saber taken over development of the remake. Saber, as you well know, split from Embracer last year in 2024. So they are still working on the game, So any hopes on this game coming out anytime soon, Des? I know you're a big KOTOR fan from years past. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it comes out, I'll buy it, play it. I mean, it is one of my favorite games of all times. I wish that they would bring out the second one too. I know it didn't have as much love as the first one, but I think it's just as good, if not better, than it. I know that's sacrilege, but it was done by Obsidian, so take it for what you want. I really enjoyed it. So
got it. We'll see. I never played the original, but maybe I could go back and play it on a platform of my choice if need be, or wait for this remake to finally make its way out.
at this point, I would wait for the remake.
I probably would too. So we'll
Seriously,
see.
it's like, yeah, I'd wait for the remake.
All right. Well, in other news, Nintendo's San Francisco store is opening up on May 15th. This is going to be in the Union Square area of San Francisco. Is that anywhere near where you work at, Des, as far as near
It's
where
right
you...
down the street.
Well, there you go. There you go. So
Just hop on the
basically,
train and go see it.
of course, yeah, they are actually going to have unique items, exclusive products, including accessories, apparel, home goods, and souvenirs available only at this location. So you better hook a brother up if maybe go down there and take a look.
You can come
Maybe
We
I'll
should
visit.
go
do a
down there
field
with.
trip. We should do a
Yeah,
field
Yeah,
trip
you
there.
can come and visit, sir.
yeah.
Both of you can come and visit.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a
But
field trip.
but we've been to Nintendo stores before, me and Des, like in Japan when we went last year, and they're fun. I would
They're
like.
fun.
They are fun to buy stuff, look at stuff. So especially if they have any Xenoblade stuff for me, or some genres if need be. But is this something you're interested in checking out, Des? As far as
Of
heading down
course.
there,
Yeah.
you think you're gonna brave going down there the day of May 15th? So,
No, no, it can wait. I can wait until it chills out a little bit because it'll be there for a while. Hopefully.
oh, May
It'll be,
15th on a
Till the
Thursday,
people
sir.
steal it
So
blind.
That's
The Nintendo will shut that shit down.
That's why I'm kind of like, I hope that it goes well, because if not, it's gonna suck. So.
Is Union Square? I mean, is it? I know it's not near the Tenderloin or anything like that, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Union
okay.
Square is like next to the Tenderloin, so it's like, but again, it depends. Like, it depends on where it is. Like, if it's in the old Westfield Mall, that's a little bit nicer. But if it's all like the actual street fronts, either on Market or Powell or anything like that, then it might be an issue. But
they're gonna steal that place blind.
They're
going to try to.
It's going to be it's on the corner of Powell and Geary, basically, is where it's
Powell and Geary. Oof, okay.
Yeah, they're going to steal that place blind.
Okay.
I give it a year tops before Nintendo shuts it down.
Like, no, thank you. It's been fun, but no.
It's like, who is... Okay.
Wow.
Who is in charge of planning over there for their... San Francisco would be the last place I would put a business like this in.
They probably got a good deal on space. That's probably what it is. They're really, San Francisco's really trying hard to revitalize the Market Street corridor and Union Square. The fact that you're saying that it's on Powell and Geary is kind of crazy, because that's like the northern part of.
I'm looking at a map right now. It's right next door to the Westin St. Francis San Francisco Hotel, and next to like the Macy's down there. So
so it's like right on the square. So I can see that. But it's like right on the square. So yeah, I mean it might be okay. Hopefully the new mayor will help them out or something. I don't know.
Man, they are going to strip that building down to the girders. They are going to take everything out.
I
am hopeful, Ken. I'm hopeful that's
hopefully there's no Goombas on the sidewalk, when you're walking in.
Oh, I hope not.
Hey man, want a Goomba? $325 for a Goomba.
Well,
they are going to strip that place down to the stubs, man. And as long as they're not going to the plumbing, well, no, they're going to take the plumbing too, because there's copper in the plumbing. Trust, meth got a meth. They are, as long as they refuse to prosecute thieves, those folks are going to go. They're going to look at that as like, wow, this is my new shopping place.
Well, I'm hopeful. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Mobs. You're going to see all of that.
I am hopeful.
Oh, you think their grand opening is going to be really grand then, Kev?
Grand opening, grand closing.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it is not as bad as it could be.
You know what I'm hopeful for?
What are you hopeful for, Joe?
I'm hopeful that People Can Fly will do great. They are currently partnering with PlayStation on a mystery game franchise on there. So People Can Fly is working on a prototype based on the PlayStation IP on here. So they announced that they are creating a new game based on an unknown PlayStation franchise on there. So I don't know what franchise they could possibly be working on per se, but it's
a new franchise, I thought.
No, it's actually unknown place. They're creating a new game on basically on one of the Sony Interactive IPs. So they are working with an IP now, whether it's Killzone, maybe Resistance. I mean, we could kind of throw things out, especially because People Can Fly usually work on shooters. I'd pay my top dollar for them to, get Daddy Square Enix to get them the Outriders 2 license to be able to do a sequel to Outriders. I think that's what we at Gaming Vessels, we want our AA shooting goodness on here. Bring us Red Faction and Outriders 2. I'd be like happy Happy. What's your all take as far as people can fly? As far as what IP would you want them to be working on?
Shit, I don't even know. To be completely honest with you, I don't even know what one. Honestly, I don't know.
Any thoughts, Kim?
If it's Infamous, please don't make it first person. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to see a first person Infamous. It's got to be third person.
Yeah, I think it'll be third person because they made Outriders, and Outriders is third person, so they know how to do the effects and stuff like that. So
yeah, but you would have thought that they would have done Indiana Jones. I mean, I know it's a different studio, but you would have thought that they would have made Indiana Jones third person, but they didn't. So I know first person is kind of like, appeals to a broad base of players, but if it's Infamous, it cannot be first person. I don't want to play a first person Infamous game.
I'll be curious to see what they're working on. Hopefully it's not a Days Gone sequel or something. That would really be bad for them to take Sony Ben's product and be allotted to be able to do a sequel. I know they're currently working on a Gears of War game with Microsoft right now. They're working on that updated Gears of War that got announced by Microsoft last year. They're helping to develop that game. I know they also did Gears of War Judgment, which was probably the worst Gears of War, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. Kev, I think
Judgment was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, Judgment was people confused.
But it was probably better than 4, to be honest.
So we'll see what they do. I think this announcement, at least People Can Fly can eat. They got games to work on, so that's a good thing at least. So, and then last but not least, some good news for fans of Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. They have announced that they are commissioning a sequel. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 3 is being worked on by the development group on there. So it was Saber on there, and Focus Entertainment obviously are bringing it out. So we'll share updates on the new title when the time is right. And right now they are focusing on delivering the best possible content. So there is further content for Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 that will still continue to come down the pike on there. So have you gone back to a Space Marine 2 that much, Kev, since you been dabbling with it?
I haven't. I need to go back to it because I know they've done a PS5 Pro update. I have not. I think I've stored it. I've loaded it on the Pro, but I haven't played it yet. So that might be the next game I jump into on my backlog. It's either going to be that or Stellar Blade, or maybe even Devil May Cry, because I haven't even played the Devil May Cry 5 yet. So, but yeah, I definitely want to play it again. What I did play was fantastic, and Space Marine 2 it's really good. It's really good.
Right on. I bought it when it first came out, and I haven't even touched it. So maybe if you do touch it, I will dive in. Any interest in Space Marine 2, Des, or is this something that was on your radar at all?
It was not on my radar at all. But that does not mean that I do not have an interest in it. I just don't really know that much about it. So it's multiple player, right?
Yeah, I think there is a horde mode with the game too. That
if you guys start playing it, I might play it with you.
Okay.
So
well, let us know out there, listeners. Just in case if you have dabbled with Space Marine 2, if you're excited for Space Marine 3, you could always join our Discord. Let us know your excitement, or you let us know on any of our social media links and/or on YouTube as well. So that is the Jabroni Gaming news for this episode.
Sounds great. Thank you for that. Game night, Mondays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That is the day and time that we set aside to play games with our growing Discord community. So if you have a game that you would like to play either with us or members of our Discord community, you can post it in our game night section, and we'll be more than happy to play with you, us as well as other members of the community. Now you might be asking, well, how do I join the Discord? That's easy enough too. All you do is head on over to the app formerly known as Twitter, currently known as X,
Blue Sky, son.
or Blue Sky, and go over to @Gaming Vessels, GAMINGVESSELS. You click the link in the bio and you're in. We don't have any merch to hawk to you, and we don't have a Patreon tier list for you to pay for in order for you to join. All we ask is that you be a decent person who likes talking about games, and I think you will find a happy home aboard the good ship Gaming Vessel. So, big shout outs to go out to John BT for his main event response, as well as his question for next week. We appreciate the listener feedback, as it gives each episode a little bit more meat on the bone, both for us as well as hopefully for our listeners to enjoy. So Moon Bear Pig shout outs or kudos go out to John BT. If you've ever played the Puppeteer, you know where that comes from. So that's going to bring episode 276 to a close. We want to thank y'all for hanging out, cooling out, chilling out, without a doubt, with us. So for Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. the High Res Hater.
That's me.
A.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. That Gamer Stat Daddy. And for Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. I am Shonuff71, a.k.a. Diggadolamite.
Purple bling bling, y'all.
And we'll be back next week, episode 277 for your ears. Peace.